I grew up in the 1980s, which means I survived a childhood with no internet, no smartphones, and a phone that doubled as a medieval training device. I'm talking about the rotary dial phone, the beige wall-mounted anchor of our kitchen, with a curly cord that could lasso a small cow and a dial that made the same sound as my soul leaving my body. Tick, 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 whirr. You didn't call people casually back then. You committed. Making a phone call in the 80s was a full-body experience. First, you had to decide whether the call was worth the cardio. Then you had to approach the phone like it was a sacred altar. Because if you messed up even one digit, just one, you started the whole number over. No backspace, no delete, just a deep sigh and another round on the hamster wheel of destiny. Our family phone lived in the kitchen, right next to the fridge, so all my important teenage business went down under the watchful eyes of the ketchup bottle and my mother, who had the supernatural ability to appear exactly when I dialed a girl's number. The cord stretched through the kitchen like a booby trap. You try to pace, but the cord would wrap around your ankle, your waist, your future. By the time you finished a call, you were hogtied by Ma Bell. And the dialing, oh, the soundtrack of our youth. Each number had its own personality. A 1 was barely a whisper. Tick, whir. A 9 was a whole relationship. Tick, 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 whir. And 0? 0 was a pilgrimage. You spun that thing so far you had to lean your whole body into it, like you were rowing a Viking ship to the operator. We had to memorize numbers too. Real numbers, not mom or pizza. You either knew it or you didn't. And if you didn't, you went on an archaeological dig through the phone book big enough to press dried flowers and flatten your dreams. I kept my friends' numbers on a notepad held to the fridge by a magnet shaped like a smiling orange. The orange lied. Nothing about dialing a long-distance number was cheerful. Long distance was what my parents called how we lose the house. "Who are you calling?" Mom would ask the instant she heard the dial spin past 1. "No one. Just tick, tick, tick. The movie theater. Tick, tick, tick. To hear show times. Use your eyes, Robert. They're in the newspaper." But I was a teenager. We didn't read. We listened to recorded robots tell us when Back to the Future started. The theater's showtime line was always busy because it was the only functioning oracle of our time. So you dial the number 7, 8, 11 times, fingers going numb, hope fading, beep, 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 busy. Hang up. Shake out your hand like you just arm wrestled the Hulk. Start again. Tick, 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 tick. Whirr. Beep, 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 busy. No redial button. We invented redial with pure determination and forearm strength. The worst was calling your crush. You'd spend 10 minutes writing a script on a piece of paper so it looked like you were doing homework. Then the ritual. Deep breath, wipe the clammy hands on your jeans, and dial. By the 4th digit, you start bargaining with the universe. "Please, God, don't let her dad pick up." 5th digit. "I will be a better person." 6th digit. "Oops, you slipped." Your finger slid into the wrong hole. You dialed a 7 instead of a 4. Now you stare at the phone, heart racing, sweat popping like popcorn, wondering if there's a way to fix it. There isn't. You hang up and start over, now fully marinated in humiliation. Tick, 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 tick. Whirr. As the dial spun back, time slowed. You could hear your own heartbeat. You could feel every atom in the kitchen judging you. Even the microwave was like, "Buddy, you sure about this?" When someone finally answered, it was always her dad, whose voice sounded like a car idling in winter. "Hello? Hi, Mr. Thompson, sir, hello? Is Megan there?" Long pause. You could hear his mustache bristle across state lines. "Who's calling?" And there it is, the boss battle. If you survived that, you were granted 30 seconds of conversation in which you had to ask, "Do you maybe want to go to the mall?" without sounding like a malfunctioning answering machine. Emergency calls were their own special anxiety. Everyone said 911, but with a rotary phone, you were basically dialing 9, then waiting a year, then dialing 1, then waiting for your next birthday, then dialing another 1. By the time help arrived, you had a beard and a memoir. We were terrified of accidentally dialing 921 by mistake and alerting some poor guy named Phil in Wisconsin that our cat ate a rubber band. Rotary phones punished the sloppy. We also weaponized that phone. Slam the receiver was our version of sending an angry text. If you were mad, you could end a call with the kind of crack that reverberated through the drywall and into the neighbor's dreams. You didn't just hang up, you thundered off. It felt amazing. Cathartic. You can't do that with a touchscreen. You just caress your rage against glass. There were prank calls, of course. We were young, we were dumb. And our jokes were older than the phone itself. The classic, "Is your refrigerator running?" But a rotary dial added suspense we did not plan for. By the time the punchline landed, you were ready to leave for college. Sometimes I miss it. Not the hand cramps or the busy signals, but the ceremony. The way a call was an event. The way you stood in one spot and talked like a human, not a notification factory. The phone anchored us. You didn't wander down the block mid-sentence or check 3 apps. You stood in the kitchen wrapped in the cord like a burrito, and you listened. Tick, 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 tick. Whirr. It's the sound of patience, the sound of growing up, the sound of a generation who had to earn a call, and every now and then, a yes.